Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules, and I am starting a reading vlog for week 2 of Old School April. Today's Tuesday. I meant to start this yesterday, but I felt like crap. Yeah, so yesterday, it was Monday. It's always busy on Mondays. It seems like every day of work is busy anymore. It's really taken a toll on me. So my company does medical billing for doctors like all over the United States. So we are constantly having practices come, practices go. And so some of those practices are small, some are big. So our call volume has just been a lot, like literally this whole year. So work was busy yesterday and I had a headache most of the day. And then I just didn't feel good. Like I just didn't feel right. So literally I read nothing during the day. I did manage to get caught up on some people's YouTube videos, and then after work, I took a nap. I don't ever take naps. Like, rarely do I take a nap. If I take a nap, it's because I do not feel good. So I took a nap after work, made dinner. Jess had sprints last night, and yeah, I like zoned out in my chair. For the whole first sprint, I read 2 pages. And then the second sprint, I did manage to read another 20 pages. So this is what I'm starting with this week. And I am only on page 84. So hopefully I can get this read by today or tomorrow so I can read something else. I have managed to get to 40% in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I'm at the point now where his name's been drawn and everybody's shocked, and him and Ron are arguing because Ron thinks he's lying to him about how he put his name in the goblet, and then now he's getting interviewed by Rita Skeeter. So they haven't actually started the tournament yet. So that's my updates starting this week. I don't really have a lot of plans this week. I usually don't, but I know tomorrow night I am going to go to dinner with a couple friends from Girl Scouts that I have not seen for probably a year. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna try and get up to see my mom one night this week. And then Saturday, my plan is to drive around and try and find some free little libraries, because I haven't done that in my area. I don't think we have a lot, but I'm thinking I'm gonna go to a couple different cities in the area and just see if I can find some, and then have coffee with a friend. That's my plan. I wanted to show you guys what I did order. It's a 90s word search. It also has other things in it. So it has 57 word searches, 18 word scrambles, 4 theme song IDs, and 20 cryptograms, which, let's see what the theme song IDs are. So the theme songs look like this. So it says below are sections from different 1990s TV show theme song lyrics. Which show does each lyric belong to? Oh, that's interesting. I'm probably not going to be able to figure those out. And some of the word searches are popular bands and musical artists, popular stores of the 1990s, popular foods, hit rap songs, hit rock songs, cartoons. I'm so excited. I love word searches. My favorite part of this is going to be the word searches, but I also do like a good cryptogram and word scrambles. So I don't know about this theme song ID. I think I'm gonna not do well on those. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do a word search before I start work today. And yeah, I do still have a bit of a headache. It's lingering. I feel like it might be sinus stuff. So I did a sinus rinse this morning and took some medicine. So I'm hoping that it goes away soon. But I will be back when I have some updates on my reading. Got my Easter stuff up. I thought I would show you guys what I have made on here and what I have bought. I got this guy from TJ Maxx a couple years ago. This is new. This little candy dish is just not so cute. Got that at Walmart. I made this a couple years ago. It's just a Dollar Tree frame. I painted the back, and that is actually a Mod Podge napkin. So cute. I bought that new this year. Got that last year. I don't remember where I got it. I made this bunny garland. This guy is new this year. That's new this year. I made this last year or the year before. It's a Chalk Couture. I bought that. I made this. This is new this year. I'm so excited. This is the pot that I painted for Gwen's Patreon. We did like a little pot painting thing, and that was one of the ones I made. And then I was like, oh, let me put a bunny butt in it. It's so cute. So then I just filled it with some flowers and fake carrots. It's so cute. This is new this year. This was last year. I made this a couple years ago. I love this. It's one of my favorite pieces. And then I made these little bunny guys out of the rope. And then I put all of this together too with some Dollar Tree stuff. And then this one I just bought. So yeah, that is all of my Easter stuff. Happy Wednesday, friends. I'm here for some updates. I just got off work. I have not had time to update, but I'm here now. Kat is doing some old school April sprints. So I just had her up. We were chitty chatting and she just went on the first sprint. So I thought I would update you guys. I finished Deadly Detention last night. I want to give this more stars than I'm giving it, but I also don't. So I had a good time with it for like the last half of the book. The first half I felt like was just too mundane chit chat between all the kids. Like literally them getting to the detention room, figuring out who's who, why they're there. Of course you have, you know, the cheerleader and the jock who are the couple. You've got the fat girl. There's a lot of fat shaming in this. You have the guy that's always in detention all the time. You have another guy who isn't typically in detention. I think he's kind of a really nerdy, smart guy. And I think he was just late to school. So that's why he got detention. I'm not sure. And then you have another girl who never gets detention. And someone played a prank on her and she ended up in detention. Literally the first half of this book is them sitting in the room talking about why they got detention and kind of picking on each other. It's like a breakfast club. You've got different types of people all in a room together for detention. So the teacher said he'd be back in an hour. He comes back. They had done cleaning for an hour and said they still had more they needed to do. He was going to keep them there even later. And then he ends up leaving again, says he'll be back, and then he never comes back. So they're all like wondering where he's at. They start going to leave. They're like, well, we're going to leave. And then they find the doors are locked. So then they go to like the teacher's lounge to look for him, and he's not there. But they find like a dartboard that's like on the back of the door that's this teacher's, and it has all of their pictures on the dartboard with darts in them. And then they hear somebody come over the PA system saying they're never going to get out. They're all going to die. And it sounds like this teacher. So they think it's just a big prank and he's trying to scare them. And then of course they get split off and, you know, people start dying. And then when it gets down to like the last few, then they're thinking it can't be the teacher because they look out, there's no cars in the teacher's parking lot. So then they're wondering if it's not him and it's one of the students. Then they're like suspicious of each other. And they're like, it's you. And they're like started blaming each other. And they're like, it's not me. Why would it be me? It would be you. And so it reminded me of in the Scream movie when Stu and Randy come running up to Sydney and they're like, he's the killer. He's the killer. And he's like, no, he's the killer. He's the killer. And she's like, screw you both. And shuts the door on their face. It reminds me of that because there's a conversation in here like that where they're like trying to blame each other. The one girl's just like, you know, she's like, I don't want any part of this. Yeah, so that was funny. But, you know, the kills are gruesome. In my mind, I did have suspicions that the killer was the killer. But then the way that the kills happened, I was like, nah, it's probably not, because I don't think it's practical that it could have been that killer with the way that the killings happened. But I mean, besides that, so I gave it a 3-star on Goodreads. I feel like I might bump it up to 3.5. I don't know that if the beginning of this had been a little less boring, I probably would have given it a 4-star because it was a pretty good time. But yeah, so probably 3.5. I may change it to 3.5 because I did enjoy it. I did want to share that yesterday I got my OSA zine in the mail. So it's like a magazine type thing, and it's, you know, got all kinds of stuff in it. So it has articles, stories that some of the co-hosts have written. Yeah, it's so I haven't looked through it all yet, but it does have all like the prompts and stuff in here too. It has a little membership card, and then on the back you can scan it for like the word of the week. Yeah, be kind, rewind. So that's so funny. So yeah, I'm excited to get through that. Oh, and look at the front. It's got Kelsey's dog that she lost. It has a like little memorial thing. So sweet. So yeah, I'm excited to have this and just keep this on my shelf, you know. Yeah, it's a good time. Anyway, so there's that. I did start Theater Nights or Murder, which is a cozy mystery. It's one of my favorite series by Libby Klein. It's the Poppy McAllister series, and this is book 4, I think. And it's a pretty good time. So I think I'm like 25% into it right now, but Poppy's aunt is just a riot. I love her. She makes this series. She is so funny. So I think the retirement community, I don't know that it's a nursing home because not all the ladies are in the nursing home, but I think it's just like a retirement community, that they're going to be putting on this big theater production, and all of the old people are going to have a chance to act in this play. So they're doing tryouts. I guess Aunt Jenny's high school love was big into theater, and he ended up leaving after high school, broke up with her to go fulfill his dreams of being an actor with another girl in their school who also wanted to be an actress. And in school, she had tried out for this play for the main part, and this other girl got it. And then after that, they decided they were going off to, you know, Hollywood to be famous. Well, I guess that girl moved back a few years later and said, you know, she decided she didn't want to have that, you know, career. I'm guessing she just sucked at it. And then, but her love apparently did become a famous actor. And so I guess he is coming back into town to, he's retired. He's a retired actor now, but I guess he's coming back into town and to do this production with them. So Aunt Jenny gets all gussied up to try and show her man what he missed out on, I guess. And she's just so funny. So we have that high school rivalry of these two old ladies again. And they're just at each other. And of course, again, they are trying out for the same lead role. And Aunt Jenny doesn't get it. The other girl does. And so Aunt Jenny is not too happy. She's her understudy. And she's like, that'll be the day. So she doesn't want anything to do with it now. But I have a feeling that the high school rival is going to die. And Aunt Jenny's going to get accused of the murder. Because, you know, she's been saying that she's going to show her. So anyway, it's a fun time. So tonight I am actually going to dinner. So I'm not going to be home for a little bit, but I wanted to pick up something quick tonight. So I think when I get back, I'm going to start It's Me, Charlie by C.M. Gudros, I think is how you say it. My daughter saw this sitting on my desk and she goes, are you reading that? Did you read that? And I was like, well, I haven't read it yet. And she's like, it's gross. She goes, it's bad. So she says it's burned in her brain. And I was like, oh. She says it's disgusting. And I'm like, okay, well, like what kind of disgusting? She didn't say. So I'm like, I don't know. Has anyone read this? I guess we'll find out. So this is only 64 pages. So I am hoping tonight when I get home from dinner, I can read this, or at least get some of it read and then finish it tomorrow. So that's my reading plans. And then I thought I would open my aardvark box with you guys since I just got it in the mail. I'll show you what book I got. I skipped book of the month this month because I didn't like any of their picks. I mean, I really want the It was an add-on. What book is it I wanted now? Yeah, I can't think of it. It's a oh, I really want Enchantra, because I was like, what's that second book I want? So, which is book 2 to the Phantasma series. I really want it, but it was only an add-on, and I didn't want any of the main books. So I'm hoping in May I will at least like one of the main books, and then I can get it as an add-on. So here's the bookmark. Of course, it has the little card, and I'm surprised I got this book, y'all, but it sounds good. Bat Eater and Other Names for Chorazing. Look at that bat, y'all. They look so cool. So this says, Chorazing is a crime scene cleaner washing away the remains of brutal murders and suicides in Chinatown. But none of that seems so terrible when she's already witnessed the most horrific thing possible, her sister, Delilah, being pushed in front of a train. Before fleeing the scene, the murderer shouted 2 words, Bat Eater. So the bloody messes don't really bother Cora. She's more bothered by the germs on the subway railing, the bare hands of a stranger, the hidden viruses in every corner, and the bite marks on her coffee table. Of course, ever since Delilah was killed in front of her, Cora can't be sure what's real and what's in her head. She pushes away all feelings and ignores the advice of her aunt to prepare for the Hungry Ghost Festival when the gates of hell open. But she can't ignore the dread in her stomach as she keeps finding bat carcasses at crime scenes, or the scary fact that all her recent cleanups have been the bodies of East Asian women. As Cora will soon learn, you can't just ignore hungry ghosts. Doesn't that sound good? It sounds creepy. And then I thought I would show you, I also today worked in my journal for a little bit. I have not worked in it in a hot minute, but I did a couple pages today. So in February, I hosted my in-person book club, and we had tacos. We had a taco bar and our pictures, and then we read Tomorrow. I still need to add a little writing up there of it. And then I made a candy salad. So I took all the packaging from the candy salad and like made a little collage, and then I took a picture of it. And then, did I do another one? Oh yeah. And then I did a St. Patty's Day one. My friend Sonia sent me a gift. And I love this card. Look at it. It's so cute. So I took some of this is the envelope and the card, and I just put some background paper on it and then used some of the stickers she sent me. Love it. But I haven't worked in my scrapbook for a hot minute, so I thought I should do that. Anyway, that is all my updates right now. I will come back when I have some more reading updates for you. Good morning, friends. It is Thursday morning. I am currently at my pen making station, making some pens for our future Etsy shop. So me and my daughter have been planning for like a year, I think, to open an Etsy shop. And we have yet to do it. So we both get squirreled. We start things and then we don't finish things, and yeah. So my daughter and I both are very crafty. And she actually makes a couple of items that she sells at my sister-in-law's boutique, but she obviously only gets a percentage of that. So she wants to sell them on her own so that she gets more of the profit, obviously. So one of the main things that we decided we wanted to start making together to sell are beaded pens, like such. And so we have a bunch of designs that we have created, and I will show you, and we just need to make multiples of them, which is what we've been doing. The main reason we haven't opened our Etsy shop is because we don't know what to call it. It isn't just for one particular item, so it would be a variety of items, and so we're trying to figure out, because it's going to be both her and I, like what we would call it, you know. Yeah, so we don't know. So if you have any ideas. So her name's Haley, my name's Julie. We've thought about J&H Designs instead of our names. We thought about using our last name, like Inman Creations, like our last name's Inman, but we don't know. So we're still in the process of trying to figure that out. But I thought I would show you some of the pens we've made. So here, and some are obviously book related. So this one says Spooky Book Club. We have Running on Caffeine and True Crime. And we have the Day You Deserve. I love that one. We have a Dog Mom one. cows. We have a little ghost guy with a knife. We have a Jason. We actually meant to put a knife on this one too. We have little knife charms to add to our like horror ones. We have this one, I'm Always With You. We have a Swifty one. We have a teacher's, In My Teacher Era. We have Jesus one. We have Harry Potter. And this is just some of them. Like we have so many other, like we have this one that says, Let Me Read in Peace. Just a Girl Who Loves Books. This one says, I came, I saw, I had anxiety, so I left. I have some that say, My weekend is booked. Sorry, you can't really see that. Spicy Book Club. What else do I have? We have like a bunch. And then we have, my mower just showed up. It's gonna be loud. And then we have some suicide awareness. These ones say You Matter. And then this is just the suicide awareness colors and flower. And then we have some like dog print ones with hearts. But yeah, we have, and we're, have all kinds of things. And then we have a bunch of different, the thing with getting some of the horror ones is that they don't have the same multiple ones, which sucks. But yeah, so we've got some little like Jason. We've got the Trick or Treat guy. We've got the Saw guy. Beetlejuice. Annabelle. So like and Freddy, like all of these came in a pack, but there's only like one of each of them, So, and I haven't been able to find these again, so I need to buy like multiple packs of the variety ones so that I can get multiple pens of the same, because we don't want to have where we're just selling like one pen of one kind, you know what I mean? We want to make sure we have 5 or 6 available of each kind. But anyway, so that is what we have been working on to get ready to post in our Etsy shop whenever we get it going. And then some of the other things my daughter makes is she sews. So she made fabric bookmarks. This is just an example. This is a Grinch one. They're fabric bookmarks of all kinds of different, any kind of fabric she can find. She has a bunch of these for sale at my sister-in-law's boutique. And then she makes over-the-collar dog bandanas. So she's made a bunch of different kinds of these in different sizes. So she wants to sell those. And then I used to buy book sleeves all the time, like a lot of book sleeves. And she had made a comment. She's like, oh, I wonder if I could make those. And I was like, I don't know. She literally took a book sleeve that I had purchased from someone and looked at it and figured out how to make it. She still has some perfecting to do on it, but this was the first one she made. It didn't have a pocket. The top was a little jankety because she couldn't figure out how to get the, her lineage was off or whatever, which I couldn't even do this. So I was impressed. Her second attempt, she made this one, and it actually does have a pocket and a color in the inside. And the top is also still a little bit higher with the color on top, but I actually kind of like it because it's like gives it some contrast, but it's not like it's sewn good. It's like not messed up. So I'm super impressed with her skills. Very talented. I cannot do it. And then I bought a bunch of resin stuff to do like resin projects, like earrings, like earrings, because I love earrings. But I haven't played with that yet. So, but we figured, these few things would be our start, and then we could just go from there, because like it would just have all kinds of stuff. Like I said, we're crafty and we like to craft stuff. So anyway, someday this stuff might be available when we figure out a name for our Etsy page. Okay, that aside, let me update you on this. This is not good. This is not good, y'all. I'm not even gonna put this that I read this. Okay, I read this whole thing last night. Let me just read you the warning. This book contains subject matter that is highly offensive and not suitable for everyone. This is considered extreme horror. If you are triggered by violence, sexual violence, torture, gore, and spit, then this is not the book for you. That's okay. Close this book and never look back. No one will know. This book is so short, I don't even want to tell you what it's about. If you decide you want to pick this up, or if you've read this, you already know. But without giving too much away, like, it involves catfishing, stalking, abduction, gross, you know how to use the word, gross sexual desires. It does involve spit, which is, spit is not my thing. I can't. Has anyone ever seen that movie, I Spit on Your Grave? That book is all that. This reminds me of that. To an extent. Like, there's things that happen in that movie that obviously don't happen in here, but, yeah, y'all, I don't even know why I bought this. I think somebody on YouTube obviously mentioned reading this and said it was gross and whatever, but I must not have really known what it was about. Because anyway, I could have gone my whole life without reading this. Yeah, I could have. I'm not even going to read it. I'm not even going to pretend I read it, and I'm just going to move on. Okay. I am going to pick another point horror book to start. So I have 4. I've got The Dead Lifeguard, I've got The Blind Date, Prom Dress, and The Watcher. And I have put numbers on these because we are going to draw out of this to see which one I'm going to read. Isn't this cup the cutest? I love strawberries. Okay. Which one are we going to read? All right. We are reading number 1, which happens to be The Dead Lifeguard. So this is a Fear Street super chiller. And this one says, the lifeguards at North Beach Country Club know they're lucky, while other kids... Yeah, he's so loud. Okay. We're just going to pause a minute. Okay, he's done. This one says, the lifeguards at North Beach Country Club know they're lucky. While other kids are flipping burgers, they're sunning themselves by day and partying by night. So what if some people say the place is cursed, haunted? This is the life. And then one by one, the lifeguards start to die horrible deaths. Someone or something evil is stalking them. They all know how to save other people's lives, but who will save theirs? So I will be back when I have some thoughts on this book for you. I am also continuing in my cozy mystery, so breaking up the little horror with the cozy mystery. I love that. Okay, friends, I'll be back later. Hello, friends. I thought I would come on and do a late night update. I mean, it's not that late at night, but it's time for bed. And I'm letting the dogs out, so I'm waiting for them. So I thought I would just give you an update on what I did tonight. And so I actually spent all night in the kitchen. So after work, I did a little bit of updating in my journal. Then I made dinner, and then my husband asked if I had time to make some cookies for his guys at work. And I usually make them cookies like pretty regularly, but he's been at a different job site this year and he didn't really have anyone, to make cookies for. Well, now the area of the job that he's on, he has a new crew. So he wanted to, take them some cookies. So I made them pumpkin chocolate chip cookies, which is my husband's favorite cookies. He eats them year round. I know a lot of people are like, that's a fall cookie, but not for my husband. He will choose those over regular chocolate chip cookies, but he likes chocolate chip cookies too. So Wendy and Leah were on sprints tonight. So I ended up just listening to my cozy mystery while I baked cookies. So I finished Theater Nights of Murder by Libby Klein. Y'all, this series just keeps getting better. They crack me up. So in this one, I had said all the old people were doing this like community theater thing. And I thought that Aunt Jenny's high school rival was gonna be the one to die, but she was not. It was a different guy. But then there was somebody like sabotaging the theater and like the props, and people were getting hurt. And it seemed like somebody was wanting Aunt Jenny's like ex-beau to get hurt or die, and that somehow the wrong person ended up getting killed. But so Aunt Jenny has these like 3 friends that are always around, and Poppy calls them the old biddies. And she's like, oh, what are those old biddies up to now? And she'll see them just like out, and they're like snooping and being like little detectives, and they crack me up. They had me rolling this whole book. They were so funny. So obviously they did some, investigating. Poppy investigated too. And the detective that always comes around, she's like, why are you guys always involved in this? It just cracks me up. Yeah, so I just had a good time with it. So I ended up giving that one 5 stars. The series is just so good. I can't wait to keep reading in it. But yeah, I did start the Dead Lifeguard, I think is what it is, my point horror, but I only got like maybe 20 pages in, so I don't have any thoughts for you on that yet. But I should have some thoughts for you tomorrow on that. But that's it for now. I will be back tomorrow. Hello. It is Friday after work. I am exhausted. Oh, so sorry, guys. I am on my way to see my mom. I have read 0 things today. Didn't read a lick of nothing. So work was pretty busy today, and at the times that it wasn't, I was watching Survivor. I'm on this past week's episode, so I'm almost all caught up, and it's so good. It's so good. I forgot I haven't seen Survivor in forever, and I forgot how much I enjoyed it. But I mean, it's so funny to see all the people like conniving against each other and like hiding secrets and trying to play to win. So pretty funny. But anyway, so I don't have any reading updates for y'all at this point. So after my visit with my mom, I need to run and get some dog food, and then I'm gonna grab dinner, and then I'm gonna come home, and I am probably going to hopefully read. So I would like to be able to read some in the Dead Lifeguard tonight, but we will see. Hello friends, happy Saturday. So it is already like 3:30 and I haven't done any videoing today. So this morning I met my friend and we grabbed a coffee, and then we drove around looking for some of the little free libraries, and I didn't do any filming because I was with my friend. And also a lot of the places that we went where we found them, they were like in front of people's houses, and they were all full. So like you could tell they were full just by when I pulled up in front of them. So we didn't really get out and look at any of them except 2, and one of them we didn't put any in because it was full. And then another one we went to up on our like main square of our city, they had a good space, and I actually ended up putting like probably 6 or more books in there. I just grabbed a handful of them and was like, let's put it in there. So then I ended up just taking a bunch of books that I have had on my shelf that have been in my Pango shop forever. I just took a huge stack of those, and we went to Half Price Books, and I just ended up giving them there. And did I get pennies on the dollars for them? Yes, I did. But it is better. I would have probably just put them for free in the little libraries anyways. But then when I did get home, I have a stack of books that I have not put in my Pango shop. So I did add some new books to my Pango shop, not a lot, but I thought I would show you guys what I added to my shop. So I added Meet Your Baker and A Matter of Life and Death. Since I'm not going to collect these, I decided I would go ahead and just get rid of these. I am putting Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton in there. I have Look in the Mirror by Catherine Stedman. The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak. Or Rekulak, I don't know how you say it. A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. Let's see. Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I bought this, but then there was another edition that I wanted, so I ended up buying 2 copies of this basically. I have a problem. And then I added Fourth Wing. This is just a regular copy, nothing special about it. And then I had Iron Flame with just the black edges. This one's a brand new one. Those are the books that I added to my Pango shop. I do actually have a coupon code. If you've never used Pango before, it's just an app, or well, a website that you can sell your books through, but you can also purchase books through. So I do have a Pango shop. I will link it in the description, and then I will also link my coupon code. If you are new to Pango, this works for you. If you already have a Pango, sorry, it doesn't work. So I have, my code is JulesBooks5, and you can save $5 off your first order of $10 or more. And it doesn't have to be in my shop. It can be in anybody's shop as long as you are a new user. It doesn't cost anything to create an account. There's no monthly fees or anything like that. Very simple to use Pango. I did a video a while back that actually detailed like how to use it and how to post your books and everything. And so I'll try and find that and also link that in the description for you. But as far as my reading updates go, I made it to page 50 in The Dead Lifeguard, and basically they haven't even really started lifeguarding yet. So all I know is that Lindsay shows up to the pool, and they actually have kind of like a clubhouse apartment type place, I guess. It's like a house that has different rooms where the lifeguards will stay. So she showed up and the gate was locked, and she couldn't get in, and it was getting ready to start storming, and she could see like the house, like where the gate, she could see that someone was inside, but their back was turned, so she couldn't get their attention. And then she remembered that she had a gate key, and so she pulled that out and she went to use it, and it wasn't working. And then it started raining on her, and it's pouring down rain now, and she's trying to get the people's attentions that are inside. And she looks over where the pool's at, and she sees a girl floating in the pool, and she starts screaming, and then she's like hysterically screaming. So then the people inside actually do hear something and turn around and see her, and then they come running out, and she's like pointing at the pool, and they look over and they're like, nothing's there, what are you talking about? And then she looks and there's nothing there, and they let her in, and she says who she is, and the main guy there's like, well, I don't see your name on the list. And she's like, yeah, I interviewed, like, they're all new, so like none of them know each other. And she's like, yeah, I was here last year. And he's like, oh, we're all new, you know, whatever. But he says, you're not on the list. And she's like, well, I have a key card. And they looked at her key card, and it was like 2 years old, from a year that she wasn't even, you know, there. So it's not like she brought hers from last year back or whatever. And so they're like, well, that's weird. Anyway, they get her all dried up, let her get dried. And they said that the main guy who did the hiring would be coming by soon, and that he'd figure it all out. Well, he ends up coming by, and he's like, I don't remember you. And she's like, yeah, I don't remember you. Like, so she's not remembering. She's like, who did I interview with somebody? Who did I interview? So it seems weird. Like, she's like not remembering like why she's really there now. But he's like, well, he goes, we had one girl that like ditched on us, so you can just be like an alternate, but she could still stay there. So she's just asking them, she's like, so you guys really didn't see anything? And she's like, I don't know what I saw. Maybe it was, you know, a shadow in the water or whatever. And then one of the girls was like, oh, well, there are ghosts here. This is haunted. Like, kids have died here. And so there's the kids of, the ghosts of like dead kids that have drowned or something. And there is a weird perspective in here. One of the POVs is from someone, it just says mouse. And it's like talking to Terry, and it's like, I know you're there, Terry. I know you can hear me. I know how happy you are for me. I'm doing it for you. You know that, right? And then it says, I'm here at the club. I'm a lifeguard. He says, I know you're dead, so I don't know why I'm talking to you, and kind of things like that. And then it says, should I kill my roommate, Terry? Is that who I should kill first? So whoever Terry is, it must be a dead kid. And whoever this mouse is obviously one of these lifeguards who's gonna possibly kill all these other lifeguards, like as revenge maybe. I don't know. That's all I know right now. Then I wanted to read another Slappy book, so I rolled some more dice and I got a 5, and that was Escape from Shutter Mansion. So I'm actually 50% through this one already. So the back of this one says, Riley Shiner is obsessed with Escape from Shutter Mansion, a video game that is based on a real spooky house in his neighborhood. He's played it so much he knows it by heart, which is why he won't go anywhere near the actual place. It's just too dangerous. There are shadows that creep around inside, and then there's the level Riley can't ever beat. It features the worst creature of all. Riley is about to find out that you don't always play this game. Sometimes it plays you. So in this one, it's so funny because the audio, Slappy's like comes on at the beginning and like it's just kind of like, oh, get ready for a scare and all this, and then after so many chapters, Slappy comes in again. It's almost like an intermission, like to prepare you for like the next, scene or whatever. And so the first part is basically him and his sister out walking in the neighborhood, and of course the sister needs to take a shortcut because they're late. They go by this mansion, and he's like, that place is haunted, I'm not going anywhere near that. And she's like, whatever, no it's not. And he goes, yes it is, it's just like the game. And so yeah, he's playing this game, and he like is really good at this game and plays this game all the time. He's like obsessed with this game that is based off of this haunted mansion in their neighborhood. And they see this girl there, and they've never seen her before, and she says she's new to the neighborhood or whatever. But then Riley ends up seeing something weird happens. He like almost could see like that she looked like a skeleton on the inside or something. So he's seeing things, and of course the sister's like, no you're not, you're crazy. They invite this rando friend girl that they just met to their house for dinner. Why not? And Riley's up in his room playing the game, and he sees that one of like this girl appears in this video game, and it looks just like this girl Mia that they just met. He's like, that's weird, how can that be? So then Slappy transitions us into the next scene, which happens to be at school. And they're at school, and they're in this class reading their papers about like or this one kid's like reading a paper about some like brave time that he had or something, doing something. It's basically a kid that Riley doesn't like because he thinks he's all, the smartest kid in the school and the coolest kid in the school and all that. There's always one. And then the teacher tells them, she's like, this is great. Our next assignment is going to be to write a story about a great adventure or some type of adventure that you guys do. And she was going to put them in groups and have them go on these adventures. One of them was like, oh, we could do an overnight at the zoo. And then another was like, oh yeah, or at maybe the museum. And then the teacher just like randomly looks at Riley and was like, and you know so much about Shutter Mansion and you really love it. He's like, the teacher was like, why don't you do an overnight there with your group? And everybody like has heard stories of this place and that it's haunted or whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, how are they supposed to go? The place is abandoned. How is a teacher going to tell them to go stay at an abandoned mansion? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And then of course she's like, who would want to go do it with him? And of course he asked his sister. Well, the teacher asked his sister. She's like, would you want to go with him? And so she's like, yeah, I guess. And then the sister's friend. And then of course the kid that he doesn't really like offers to go because he's like, oh, they're gonna need me there to be brave, since I'm so brave. And of course then the teacher's talking about having their parents go along, and I'm like, oh, what? So I haven't even got to that yet. They're not even at the overnight yet, but this group of kids ends up after school going by the house. They're like, let's go check it out during the day, so we can see what it's like during the day. So they all go, and Riley's seeing things and hearing things that these other kids are not, and he doesn't understand why. But they all kind of got spooked and ran off, and Riley did end up running off because he saw something in like the window. So he was there, and then he like something hit him over the head, and then next thing you know, he's inside the mansion seeing some crazy stuff happening. But then he wakes up outside. His sister's waking him up, and she's like, why didn't you leave with us? Why didn't you run off with us? So then he was like, oh, it must have been a nightmare. But then when he opened his hand, there was something in his hand from when it was inside like his nightmare. So totally giving Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. You know how like you pull something out of the nightmare with you? So it was almost like that. So that's all I know. Like I said, they haven't even stayed in the mansion yet. So I'm liking it. It's a pretty good time. So obviously there's a little monster in there. So those are my updates. I don't know if I'll come back with more updates today or not. I gotta run to the store and get pizza for dinner and then just do some more reading. I did a little bit of cleaning. I need to do some more cleaning. Anyway, friends, that's my update and I will check back in with you later. Hello, friends. I'm back with a quick update. I'm about to go see my mom. Somebody stole my chair. He always likes to steal my chair if I get up. So I went up to get some socks and shoes and I came back and he's always a seat stealer. But I finished this book yesterday and I feel like it had potential to be better than it was, honestly. I mean, like, it just kind of seemed far-fetched on some of the things. So their parents do end up going with them, which again, I'm still lost at how they're even getting into this place, right? Like, it's abandoned. You're not supposed to be there. It just seems fetch. But so the kid that everybody likes, the know-it-all kid, supposedly has all this equipment. He has like a backup generator. They have a ghost hunting thing, like all this stuff, right? And so they go and the parents are like, okay, we're going to stay down here and you guys are going to be upstairs. And supposedly this place is like really big. Cause I'm like, how the parents didn't hear them screaming some of the times, like, I don't know. But so they go up and of course, Riley tells them it's like the game. Each of the rooms has different monsters in the video game. So he goes, I bet there's going to be monsters up here, you guys. And they're like, no, there's not. There is. So the kids find these different monsters that they're, hitting in all these different rooms. And of course, yeah, there's lots of screaming and things going on. And then why are their parents not coming to help them? I don't know. And then next thing you know, the parents are leaving. The parents are like, got scared somehow too, and they left. And I'm like, no parent in the world is going to leave their child behind. Like, it was just kind of ridiculous. But so then they're all leaning on Riley to figure out, how do we get out of here? How do we beat it? Because you've beaten the game. So tell us how to get out of here. We can get out. And then of course, obviously I can't tell you how it ends, but it was just okay. Parts of it I liked, parts of it I didn't. It was just average. I'm giving this one 3 stars. And then I only managed to get to page 64 in this book, y'all. And I need to finish this. It is Sunday, almost 3 o'clock. I still got to go see my mom. I want to finish this today. I don't want to carry this over into next week. So I want to get this done. I've spent a lot of the day editing, which, y'all, editing takes forever, especially if you don't keep up with it. I said I was going to keep up with it and I didn't. So literally this weekend I had an entire week's worth of video footage to edit. So here we are. Yeah, y'all, I'm going to try and finish this today. How many pages are there? Sorry, I'm one-handing this, you guys, because this is just where I'm at. 183 pages. So surely I can read 120 pages tonight. I mean, it is a pretty fast read. These point horrors do go pretty fast, but nothing's really happened yet, right? So one of the girls says there's the ghost and everybody's like, quit trying to scare everybody. We're not here for that. And then one of the other girls has kind of done a couple of like fake outs and like made like scary noises or has like pretended like she saw something, like she's trying to freak everybody out. And then they start laughing at them and saying, it's a joke. I think I have figured out who Mouse is. Maybe. But we'll see. I don't know if it was supposed to be that obvious this early, but if it is, then I caught on. But I don't know. So y'all, I will be back hopefully tonight to give you an update on this. Okay. I'll be back. Good morning, friends. I did in fact finish this last night, like literally right before I went to bed. So I did not do an update last night. So this is the last book I read for the week. And I was pleasantly surprised by the twist. There was actually a couple twists at the end. So a couple of lifeguards do get taken out. And it's interesting how they get taken out. So Lindsay keeps hearing voices or like a whispering that says, Lindsay, you know, come here. She ends up being the one that finds the lifeguards that have been. So the police are like suspicious of her. They think that she's like either cuckoo because she's making up these stories about hearing stuff or, and you know, something. And the other lifeguards are getting kind of suspicious of her as well. She's also not remembering. It's like she has no memories of her time when she was a lifeguard before. And things are just, and like why she's not recognizing one of the guys that says he was there when she was there. And there's a reason for that. Obviously, I can't tell you because it would give it away. But I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I feel like the very last part of it, I feel was like a little bit rushed, but not enough to like take down my rating of the book. I was not correct in who this mouse perspective was. So that part about it being too obvious was too obvious. So anyway, but yeah, overall, I had a good time with this one, and I am going to give this one 4 stars. So I had started this one yesterday and I got 40% through it. So this one is the 4th book in the Noodle Shop mystery. I doubt I'm going to continue after this. I'm going to finish this book, but I don't know that I'm going to continue the series, but I'll let you know for sure when I'm done with it. But this one says, Lana Lee is all smiles when the first evening of Cleveland's Asian night market kicks off the summer. The weekly festival is always good for business, packed with locals and tourists, and this year, some stiff new food truck competition. Wonton on Wheels, run by old friends of Lana's parents, promises to have customers lining up for their delicately wrapped delights until the truck blows up at evening's end. Lana's boyfriend, Detective Adam Trudeau, has been planning a birthday getaway for the two of them, but lo and behold, Lana must assume the role of amateur sleuth yet again. With one proprietor of Wonton on Wheels dead, it's beginning to look more like murder and less like an unfortunate accident. And as they begin to unwrap layers of disturbing secrets, Lana's own family erupts into new drama. Will Lana be able to solve this crime, or has she jumped from the walk right into the fire? Yeah, so like I said, they're at these food truck nights, and then it's a husband and wife team that are friends of her parents, and the food truck explodes and he ends up dying. So the police are thinking it's maybe an accident, but then as they're looking at it, it's looking like it's not an accident. So then they're questioning, did the husband and wife maybe try and pull like an insurance scam to blow their truck up, and he accidentally, got killed? Or did somebody maybe hurt him? And then right before the truck blew up, a guy that Lana knew from high school showed up with his uncle, who happens to be the brother of the wife whose truck blew up. So now they're like, is that weird timing that he showed up? Maybe he had something to do with it, or had a beef with the family, or was helping her get rid of her husband maybe. So just questions. Lana's aunt, so her mom's sister, is in town, and it talks about how the sisters don't like each other, or don't like each other's way of life or something. Like Lana's mom doesn't approve of her sister's direction in life or whatnot. And so they don't get along. And then it just takes you back to Lana and her sister not getting along. And it just talks about how it must run in the family that the sisters don't get along. I don't know. I guess I just don't like, so much sister conflict or family conflict of the main characters in the book, I guess, is what's just kind of pulls me out of it. Like literally the sisters in every book are always at each other and, nitpicking stuff. And I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to finish this, and I will let you know what my thoughts are.
but most likely I'm not gonna finish this series. Anyway, okay, you guys, that wraps up my vlog for this past week. Let me know how your reading went. I still got to add up my points and submit my points. I didn't submit my points from last week. I forgot to do that. So I'm going to submit 2 weeks worth of points today. And then I'll just start calculating again. But I'm having a great time reading for Old School April. I'm reading the Goosebumps and the Point Horror. Those are fun. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the month already. It's going by so fast. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind.